Hi everyone. Today we present you with a weekly insight on evolving massing and crafting space frame structures. Capricorn Technologies Private Limited is now a part of Arkins Group, serving widely in adoption of computer-aided design solutions and integrated workflows. So we have 50 plus offices around the world, and we have 40,000 plus customers with 1,300 plus solution professionals for support and services. In this insight, we will be covering first, define mass from leveraging Revit. Second, how to assign surface grid and nodes on the structural surfaces. Third, creating the adaptive model element to follow a proper path to suit a proper structural profile, and how we can load the families profiles into a project within mass and develop an integrated parametric mass profiles. So let us just move on to the live demo now.
So here I am onto my user interface screen, and today we are going to see how we have to have a space frame structure using the adaptive family within Revit. Okay, so very first thing to this is we have to prepare a mask, basically an inbuilt mask inside of a Revit project. And then we will be going on to an adaptive family interface, and we will be developing a component. We will replicate it onto our structure directly. Let's just begin this down by creating a mask. Okay, so under the masking and site option, we have in place mask. You can see, yeah. So now we'll choose a reference plane, so it gives you an horizontal sort of thing. And I will just have certain points to be meshed for. So now you can see I have certain points in aligned. So I have to have a certain structure which is being in such alignment that it can form a curvilinear shed or a space frame sort of trusses or structure, shed structure. We'll just link entire things with this spy line so that I can move those things in a particular direction. If I just select it, move it, you can see the lines are also in movement. So it becomes a sort of adaptive sort. Now we will be generating a form out of it. So by selecting it down, and we will be creating a solid. Now, if I just move on to the 3D part of it, you can see it's a plane and you can use it as per your requirements. So we have various points and we can lift those points likewise. So let us take this little bit downwards. Let's take the surface little bit upwards. As well as you might have these points within, so you can develop those structures as well. So this is somehow a folding plate. Let us also have on the center point of this line. Have certain this sort of structure. And so now we have a plane as a shed we need, and then we have to superimpose directly. We have to select the entire portion, divide it into a number of grids. So you can maintain the number of grids depending on the precision you require on your masking. So make it 15 and 20, so you can have a greater grids in place, more number of grids in place. So this is something, a sort of shape we are looking for. And now, since we are going to an adaptive sort of family, we need to have the nodes to be inbuilt onto this particular gridding section. Under the representative surface section, we have this nodes under the surface value. I'll just be clicking onto the nodes, and that's where the entire thing appears. And nodes are important because as we are fixing up our adaptive family, so at that point of time, we would require these nodes to fix them directly onto a particular position or a placement of our elements. So still, I'm not making my mask to be get finished off, and I will keep it as open. I will just go on to a new family type now, where we will be looking for an adaptive family. We can have it with the parameters, but right now we are just going with respect to its modeling part. So under here we have generic model adaptive. Open this. I think this is empirical one. Moving on to English. And quick model adaptive. So I have this onto my surface. And now I'm onto my family template, right? And we have to establish, suppose, a curvilinear shape. So I'm going to make it onto the X plane. This is Y planes. I'm going to make it onto the X plane. Yeah, this one. Okay. So again, we're choosing the reference points as for the things. There's certain points to be held off, and this is I just move on to the floor plan, I can align them directly. So I can move this point to this space, move this point to a certain space according to my desired format as I need my elements. So I can fix those things. You can also set it so much more better placement of points can be done in this perspective. Okay. So now actually we have to make these points to be adaptive so that if we make our alignments to move, the alignments should move accordingly. I will set a skyline again. Similarly, I need these three elements to be in place. I will set them. So we are going to have certain this sort of element within our shaded structure. I just move on to 3D, you can see this is something that I'm looking at. Okay. Now we will be having a point within this part. We will set a frame. So now our frame has been set it, and we have to create a geometry out of it. You can see. So that's more than sufficient, I think it is 4 inches. And I have to create a sweep path. So I will select the surface, I will select the path, and I will generate a form out of it. So this is like an element. We are going to place it onto our massing and within a project within that. Now again, I need to have a similar sort of structure of 100 thickness. So I can align it again onto the surface. I have placing point onto the surface. Then I have to select that particular point to select a reference plane I'm going to work upon. So this is how our working plane comes. So we just pick the point part, and that was 100, the same thickness, same radii. I'll select the surface, select the path, generate a point. So this is how I have generated an element with irrespective of its parameters to be assigned. Otherwise, we can also assign parameters to the points to make them more flexible in nature. Okay, now I will be loading this particular, I'm not saving the family, but I'm loading this particular element onto the project and its name is family1. Move on to the project, I have loaded it. So still my mask was not finished off. So I got my elements to be inserted onto a certain plane. As you can see, we have 5 points. 1, 2, center one is 3, 4, and 5. Now I will start placing my entire object. This is one, this is the other point, this is the third point, fourth point, and the fifth point. So I have placed an element accordingly, and I will escape out of it. And I will select this, and I can delete this entire thing onto a particular surface area. Now you can see we have the entire shaded structure which is being developed within Revit, and depending on the geometry, it takes certain parts and it relieves certain parts as well. Like if the geometry is not as per our needs, so you can see it has left off with these grids, right? So that needs to be checked out somehow manually because there were two grids in same, so it didn't fit out somehow with respect to the curvature it is taking off. So in this way, we can have even if we change down the grid pattern support. Let me make it much more closer to each other. Let's give this as 20. I will assume it as, suppose let us have a square root, 25 by 25. The elements should adjust themselves according to the grid. This is how the elements have adjusted, but yet depending on the curvature and the number of instances we have placed, we have to look for it before we are going for the mapping option. Right now, here you can see it has taken for the geometry, but here this is some part it hasn't applied. But if you find the shaded part of it, you can see this is the sort of structure we have created. So this is how we have to work on the parametric shading devices and its space frame structures. So even with the this is yet the shell is not been placed, so we can also place shells with the help of a pattern-based family on the region based master. We will look at afterwards, but this is the complete tutorial with respect to the particular shaded, and even you can also manage the dia of particular elements accordingly. So you have to set these parameters onto the family type itself to make them much more flexible within the file. Now I will finish up the mask. Now our mask has been finished up. This is something we have modified and created. So this is for today's tutorial.
Hope you guys had an insightful session. We shall be presenting with other insights on upcoming videos. Do subscribe to our channel for all the updates. Do reach out to us for any query or suggestion. See you in the next week. Thanks and take care.